Yes, getting back to life inside the Soviet Union or inside communist countries in general. And that really doesn't make an awful lot of difference. What system you live under, because you have corruption and dishonesty and tyranny and all that sort of thing. His life is nothing. It's just like an insect. He has a fair trial and some of them capitalize on their crimes. In my own private life, I never suffered from communism simply because I was brought up in a family of high-ranking military officers. So, in other words, I would say I enjoyed, or I had good reasons to enjoy, all the advantages of so-called socialist system. Well, specifically, what did you object to? I objected, first of all, against oppression of my own dissidents and intellectuals. That my country brings to India not freedom, progress and friendship between the nations, but racism, exploitation and slavery. And of course, economical inefficiency to this country. When an agent likes a country of assignment more than his own country, I literally fell in love with this beautiful country, a country of great contrasts, but also great humility, great tolerance and philosophical and intellectual freedoms. I decided to defect and to entirely dissociate myself from the brutal regime. Are they still going on today? Or what is the status? Yeah. Again, this is unreliable Soviet statistics, incredible. They lack intellectual honesty when they say that. He may not understand the reasons. He may not have enough information or educational background to understand. There are no such people in the USSR. Well, what do you think of the chances of the people actually overcoming their system or replacing it? As long as the Soviet junta will keep on receiving credits, money, technology, grain deals, I think you're trying to tell us something. Oh yes, I'm trying to tell you that it has to be stopped unless you want to end up in Gulag system and enjoy all the advantages of socialist equality. Well, you told us a moment ago why you left the system. It was not so dangerous. It was crazy. Yes, I was working for the Soviet embassy in New Delhi as a press officer, and defecting for a Soviet diplomat is next to impossible. So knowing that perfectly well, I planned the craziest possible way to defect. And they greatly annoyed Indian police, and they were a laughingstock of Indians because obviously they were good-for-nothing students. I was dressed as a typical hippie with blue jeans, long chemise shirts, with all kinds of nice decorations like beads, long hairs. It was a very interesting experience, but it was necessary because from my own knowledge as a member of Soviet embassy staff, I knew that there were many cases when Soviet defectors were betrayed by Indian police, and confining people like this would be a suicide. So I had to be extremely careful. I could not trust anyone. And that was the reason for such a crazy way to defect. This is normal practice, quietly, of course, not publicly, but that would be the end of my defection, of course. Well, when did you finally make it to the United States? And also, I was a little bit paranoid, knowing that both Soviet KGB and probably some double agents within the American system may be after me.